Hey YouTube, it's your boy Josh out.
It's your boy Tay.
Another episode of Sports Talk Tay Josh. And on this episode, we're going to discuss She-Hulk episode 8. And before you get started, we may discuss some spoilers. So I just want to get you a warning. We may discuss some spoilers. But before, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. Also, check out our channel. We do have other content. Outside of that, we have House of the Dragons. We have sports rankings. So we'll run it pretty much YouTube channel. Okay. So Tay, let's see. You want me to start off or you want to start off?
Yeah,
So
yeah, you can start
first
off. I did.
reaction.
Yeah, you can start off
Okay,
this one.
so episode 8 pretty much starts off with Frogman, who's pretty much like a
hmm
D-list superhero, who pretty much is in like a lawsuit type of situation,
Yeah,
because his defective suit, which that suit looked pretty terrible. I'm just,
it was
you
terrible.
know,
Let's
yeah,
be honest.
it
It was
looked pretty
terrible.
bad. It was pretty terrible. Then after that, but probably the key most important part about this is the introduction of Matt Murdock,
Yep.
aka Daredevil, was a big that was probably the big key point of this episode. There was some funny
Right.
parts in this joint when they had well, I'm not gonna get well, this might be a huge spoiler. Your man Daredevil had to do the walk of shame in his suit. You know what I mean?
But was it? But
I
was it
found that
really?
pretty funny. I found that pretty funny, bro.
Yeah.
If you went to college, you know what the walk of shame. Everybody know what the
Yeah.
walk of shame.
But
If
I'm
you
about
went
to
to
say,
college,
was it really a walk of shame? Because your man was like literally smiling from ear to ear all the way down
it's
the street. Was it really?
it's still the walk of shame. It's still the
Yeah.
walk of shame.
I agree
Ah,
with you. I agree with you.
yeah, and there's some good action scenes too as well, and a plot twist. You know, I'm trying not to get too much away from episode 8, but I let you go. I want to steal all the thunder, but that was the key
No,
component.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did like the fact that they added in Luke Luke in more into this one, the guy that actually made the
Mhm.
suit, because he does have a giant client list, like but because of Captain America Civil War, because of that film, pretty much Captain Rogers was right with that theory that said don't release that list, because if you release that list, you put everybody in danger. So when
Mhm.
that actually happened, the Civil War part of it, now they could reveal those identities. So they can't. So when they was asking for the list, that's why they rejected it. It's literally because of that. So
Yeah.
Captain Rogers was right. Like he was right. So I owe him an apology for that. I was Team Iron Man. Now it make more sense now. So you know what I'm
Oh,
saying.
okay.
Um, but yeah, I did like the fact that they added in Luke Jacobson more into this one. Like I said, showing him his business clients, who's his actual attorney, which we found out was Matt Murdock, which made a special trip strictly for him because he did some of the Blue Devil suits. Daredevil suits. So, um, I did like the fact that they did with the comic part of Daredevil suit, where it was more of the gold or yellow and red. I say gold and burgundy, really, but
Mhm.
gold and red version of that suit. Found out Leapfrog, aka Eugene, end up
Mhm.
kidnapping him. and
Leapfrog,
all
Frogman, yeah. He had a lot of stuff named like frog related. Like his layer was
yeah,
lily pad. Like
yeah,
like he was like it was like I was like, okay, we get it.
yeah, we
Like
get
frog.
it, yeah.
Oh, and they had to do the typical Daredevil hallway fight scene.
Yes,
They always that's like a Daredevil. If you didn't watch Daredevil on Netflix
yeah.
when it was on there, it's pretty much
Even
that's.
even had a little bit of the original theme music in it as well, in the introduction part of it. Um but then we find out that um Matt Murdock was only in town just for that case. And find out about Jacobson getting kidnapped from Leapfrog and
Mhm.
try to make a better suit. That suit was terrible. And we find out, even though that we with that suit, it was just like the comic. He tried to jump out the window, broke
Mhm.
both his legs. Straight like the comic. It was strictly just like the
Mhm.
comic. Um, but let's not forget about this one important part too. During the court scene, Luke Jacobson even told him, he didn't tell, now mind you, he didn't tell Jennifer that the instructions was not to put, he was a dummy because he put jet fuel other than actually putting the material that he need for the rocket boosters to work, and he did not display that. That's how he got the third degree burns from that because he didn't listen to instructions. That
Mhm.
alone got the case thrown away, like
Yeah,
automatic. But
yeah.
Matt Murdock is a great lawyer too. So, but that was the like the straw that broke the camel's back when they find out that he wasn't even following instructions. um, but anything else? I mean, anything else as far as like the actual court scene? I think as far as the court scene, that was good. But everything
Yeah,
else, um,
you
from the
gotta talk
episode
about the
itself, like
big reveal. You gotta talk about the big reveal at the end.
oh, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. I'm trying to
Yeah,
think.
I was
Like
saying,
I'm
yeah.
trying to lead. I'm trying to lead into that. I'm trying to lead into that.
Well, yeah, yeah.
But yeah. Then the fight scene, like I said, the fight scene in the hallway with Daredevil. They have a chemistry now. Like that chemistry was ridiculous though. Like
Yeah.
on screen, it was good. Like they actually fit, bounce off each other pretty well.
Hmm.
Um, you know, she got a new saying now. She-Hulk smash. She got her own saying.
Typical. I'm like spoiler. It's not like we didn't see that one probably the original.
And then like I said, the infamous one night stand then happened. Uh, both of them end up smiling at the end. You know what I'm saying? Both of them
That
end up
walk
being
of shame.
satisfied. The walk
That
of
walk
shame
of
happened.
shame.
Um, yeah, he took his walk of shame right back to the airport. He did not care. He did. He said he's only there for the night. He yeah.
one he
Um,
was a one night only. I must say.
yeah. So then Luke ended up making her gala dress for the Lawyers of the Year award.
Hmm.
Um, they squashed their little strained relationship and they got back to good. Um, she
She
goes to the
won
gala.
lawyer. She won one of the lawyers of the year, woman lawyers of the year. She
Yeah, it's like
won the
six. It was
award.
like six winners. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like six.
yeah,
Um, yeah, the Lawyers of the Year award happened. Find out she's one of them. Next thing you know, the big infamous group known as the Hawk Kings show up on the screen,
yeah. And
and
telling so.
then they end up sharing all of her information. Josh copied the phone and got all the
Yeah,
information.
I want to say something. Point back to a previous episode. You
Mhm.
think Josh was one of the guys with the mask who was trying to take her blood in that previous? He could have been one of the people. Now that I think about it,
Yes, I do believe so. Yes,
I believe he was. He probably was one of them. That's my gut was telling me after watching. I was like, yeah,
but
maybe
then now,
just
but
maybe he
now he
was
got
one of the guys. Potentially
yeah,
one of the guys.
but then he got close to her. Then I think he did got the blood now because he did get close to her.
Yeah.
So I think he did get the blood
Oh.
from her eventually because she was asleep. So I think Josh did, but I do believe if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It is just a hunch. I think Todd is the leader of that damn group.
Possibly, possibly. Okay, that's a nice prediction.
And let's not
My gut
forget
is
again.
telling me it's somebody who she already met, somebody
And
inside it.
and it's
Probably.
I
That's
think
what I
it's Todd.
say. That
I think it's
Todd is
Todd.
not actually. That's not actually not a bad guess. That's actually not
Yeah.
a bad
And
theory.
and, uh, and I'm not gonna forget about this part either. And then I go back to the end. If he ever do that damn Wakanda Forever sign again, I swear to God, I'm jacking him. I'm punching him square in the face.
Then your man spit like a Wakanda spear or something like that.
he spent yeah he
That's-
your man spent $1 million on the spear. The Dominaje want it back. Then he goes in the restaurant. He said he ain't giving it back because he spent $1 million. It's not up to you. If they gonna want it, they're gonna want it one way or another.
mm.
You're not gonna have it. But if you ever do that Wakanda Forever shit again, if you ever do that again, I'm RKO you. I'm just gonna RKO your head. I don't care
Yeah.
where you at. I don't care where you. I'm gonna RKO you somewhere. That was so cringe. Oh, that was so cringe. It was cringe. Oh my goodness. I ain't never felt so like discomfortable, like uncomfortable in my life about somebody saying Wakanda Forever in my life until he did it. But I digress. Let me not go on that. So let's go back to the end. So we fast forward back to the end, like we were saying. They find, Josh copied the phone. We found out he did copy the phone. They released it in front of everybody. to try to like embarrass her to show that, you know,
Yeah.
and I
She
guess
pretty
they're
much
trying to,
got doxxed. She pretty much
yeah.
got doxxed. Yeah.
So it ended up showing her being her Hulk nature, being in like how Hulk used to destroy everything in sight. She literally had that moment. She had that instinct. That killer instinct came out. She found one of the dudes. It looked like it was Todd. I don't know if it was him, but it did look
Mm-hmm.
like him. And she grabbed him. By the time she grabbed him, she's already full Hawk mode. Next thing you know, I don't know who the police department was or whoever it was had them little blasters, in hand. And next thing you know, we see her looking at the fourth wall, terrified out of her mind. So, my hunch, like I said, my hunch is we're gonna find out who's the leader of this whole hate group against She-Hulk, and then we're gonna get to the bottom of it, and I think we're gonna find out Daredevil's probably gonna be part of this, and Hulk is probably gonna be part of this to take them the whole
Okay.
like take the whole thing down. So, and I think this might be the introduction for the leader to be included
Okay.
into Captain America's New World Order. So, um, that's my hunch. I mean, I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm just
Nah, that's
speculating.
nah. What about they drop, hints of the Red Hulk? She sort of mentioned it a little bit.
She did mention it twice in the episode, yes. In her fourth wall talk, yes, she did mention the
Yeah.
Red Hawk a lot. But it would not be Ross because at
Hmm.
this time, technically Ross is no longer even part of this whole thing in general. So it would have to be somebody that she knows, like you said, like that knows about the Hawk blood. The only person I can think about that knows about it technically is the leader. But I don't know who the leader will use to be the Red Hawk, technically.
Uh, Might be somebody we probably met in the episode. I may have to go back and rewatch it because we
I
might overlook it. You know how they drop. You know how we may overlook something.
Yeah. Do you think now? Do you now speaking of Todd? Do you think Todd could be the Red Hawk? Because he is fixated on becoming one.
Hmm.
He is a rich little prick. Let's not forget about that. He's a rich prick. He'll do anything to try to get attention, especially
Yeah.
attention of She-Hulk. So,
Yeah.
or could Josh be the Red Hulk?
Think so? No. I think Josh was just a small time player that just infiltrated her. That's what I the infiltrator try to get the information.
That's what I'm thinking too. I mean, the only person I could really think about that could do it
Because
is
somebody had to send him. It
yeah,
If it was Josh, that would be a good plot twist. That'd be like
yeah,
usual suspect, like it was him the whole time, entire time type of
yeah.
situation. But yeah,
But only reason why he's thrown out because he texts somebody else. So it isn't he's not the leader. It would have to be somebody else.
yeah.
I'm thinking it's probably I'm thinking of Todd. Todd's probably
Okay.
involved with this whole thing. But the true leader, I mean not true leader, the true like mastermind of this whole thing is the leader. I truly believe it's the leader that's the mastermind of this whole thing.
Yeah. Okay.
You got any hunches?
No, I have no idea who it could possibly be. I think it's gonna be. I may come back and rewatch and watch when the season finale comes. We're gonna be like,
Mm-hmm.
dang, we overlooked it. I may have to rewatch a few episodes just
Yeah, because
double check.
we as we've seen with either with WandaVision, anything could happen. With, you know,
A lot of times they drop hints. We probably overlooked it. A lot of
exactly,
times they
exactly.
drape small, make it very small, minor. You probably wouldn't even notice it. All right. So what
Exactly.
we give this rating of this episode from a 0 to a 10? What we give it?
I'm actually, truthfully, I'm not even gonna fake. I'm giving this one an 8, man. I would give
Yeah,
it
I'm gonna give it
higher.
an 8.
I
This
would give it
I
higher,
give
but
it an
it's
eight
not
point
gonna.
three. This probably was my favorite episode with the
Yeah,
introduction
exactly.
to Daredevil. I
Yeah,
would say probably
yeah,
this is my favorite episode of.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
because I actually agree with that. Leah, I actually agree with that. Like, because I was like, the introduction of Daredevil just made the episode better. But I think the episode actually was good before the introduction. But the episode with him made it a whole lot. Like, it made more sense. Like by him, they're adding him in at that point. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's like it's catching her when she's getting exposed now.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like everything's exposed now. So Daredevil being in and him being a lawyer, now guess what? Now you got this
Yeah,
legal
but it
thing.
makes sense for him. It makes sense for Daredevil. They both lawyers. It makes sense.
Exactly. That's
So
what I'm saying. Like it makes better sense for them to do it. So just in case if they do want to take it legally,
mhm.
they got Matt Murdock. If they want to take it down completely, they got Hulk and they got Daredevil. So if she want to take it down, because she can take it down either way, she just got to find out who it is. That's the only thing. We got to find out who it is. Once we find out who it is, that's when we find out. That's probably when we're gonna
Mhm.
find out who they're gonna start taking down, who they're gonna narrow their I guess narrow the list down. And then I think also, if I'm not mistaken, Abomination might be helping in this episode.
Yeah, okay.
If
Possibly,
I'm not mistaken, possibly.
possibly, possibly. I'm gonna say possibly, possibly. That's not a bad prediction. So I think we're going to
Yeah,
end it here. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and leave your comments, whether you agree or disagree. Just keep it cordial. You know what I mean? Be a gentleman or lady like. That's all we ask. That's all we ask. All right. Peace and hair grease.
peace and love, y'all.